Hello YouTube! So, as you can see by the description and title, this is not going to be the Age of Wings and Steel reading like I usually do. However, I am going to be doing another short fanfic reading, like just for this once. It's called Pinkie Stew. It's for, basically it was for a friend on Bronynet, written by Mark, I believe, yeah. In any case, this is a shipping fanfiction, just letting you know, with someone's OC pony, Stuart's, and Pinkie Pie, since that is his favorite one. In any case, I'm going to start reading, and yeah. Keys clattering to the table with the only indication Stuart had returned home from work. His apartment silent, barren. He walked into the kitchen. Cupcake mix, boxes of it, all stacked on the counter in the shape of a little house. "Good morning, Pinkie," Stuart said, smiling to the plastic figure. "Am I glad to be home. You'll never believe the day I had." He sighed sadly and gently picked up the toy on the way into the living room. Stuart slumped into his office chair, lazily spinning to face the picture on the wall. He looked for a long while. The picture was familiar. His OC hopping along with a pink cotton candy maned pony, Pinkie Pie. If only, he thought, smirking at the idea as he turned to face the Pinkie Pie figure he placed on his monitor. What a thought, eh, Pinkie? He clicked the Chrome icon and proceeded to check the day's events. After some time sitting at the computer, Stuart had moved to the couch to watch TV. Heck yeah, Pinkie, a friend indeed. Want to sing with me? He looked at the toy, then back at the TV, beaming. As the episode progressed, he sang along with the songs, even rattled off a few of the lines. To someone that didn't know him, he would seem crazy. But to all of his friends on Bronynet, this was normal Stuart. They all loved him for who he was. And besides, it's his favorite episode, and every Brony sings or says the lines of his favorite pony. After the episode, Stuart told Pinkie Pie all about his day, the good, the bad, and just plain odd things that happened around the office earlier in the day. Somehow, he felt as if the plastic figure could hear him and understand what was all happening. Then again, it's bound to happen when you work at a soul-sucking cubicle farm like he did. After what seemed like forever, Stuart noticed the time. 11:37 p.m. Whoa, Pinkie, I gotta get to bed so I can wake up in time to see tomorrow's episode. He took Pinkie to his room and sat her on the dresser, and excitedly hopped into bed. You know those nights when all you can think about is the next day and you can't sleep at all? Stuart fell asleep almost instantly. You'd think with the new episode and it being the weekend, one would stay up until the early morning doing who knows what. Not tonight, though. Sleep took him quickly and the room around him faded to black. He woke suddenly to a loud gasp and a familiar sound. Is that... His sentence cut short by a blast of confetti and streamers. Welcome, welcome, welcome! Gah! Stuart looked at this pony in disbelief. Hi, I'm Pinkie Pie. Welcome to... Ponyville? His jaw slowly dropped. He rose to his feet. Hooves. He looked down and realized he was looking at blue legs, and where his hands should be, 2 hooves. The same sight greeted him when he looked back. Only, he saw the white computer mouse on his flank. The only thing he could manage was a small peep. His voice cracked and he looked back at Pinkie. What the hey? Who are you? I know every pony around here, and I've never seen you. That means you're new. Stuart. I'm Stuart. He looked in her blue eyes and sighed softly. So awesome. So, what brings you to Ponyville? She said, eyes wide and full of excitement. I'm not sure, really, he said, looking around at the world around him, trying to take in what was going on. Come with me, Pinkie said, and sprung into the air and happily bounced toward the town. Stuart wobbled a bit and started to walk. He didn't make it too far before stumbling. Pinkie, he took another step forward. Wait, I got this. It was surprisingly easy to get used to walking as a pony, he thought, once he took his mind off all this. Come on, silly colt, Pinkie called back, oblivious to Stuart's little mistake. Thanks, Celestia. After catching up to Pinkie Pie, Stuart looked around at all the ponies around him. Most were just going about their daily tasks. A few ponies were sharing tables and looked rather familiar. Whoa, so they really are together? Looking directly at a mint green pony and one that he could only assume was Bonbon, as they sipped the same drink. He crashed violently into Pinkie, who abruptly stopped. "Yeah, I'm sorry," he said loudly. Pinkie stared dead ahead at a rather fantastically sized gingerbread house. "That is huge!" In the blink of an eye, Pinkie was inspecting the house from every angle before leaving 10 bits on the counter and seemed to teleport back to Stuart's side. "Isn't it amazing? I saw it and decided it would be the most amazing welcome gift in the whole wide world." Now, voice crack. You really didn't have to, Pinkie." "I know," she exclaimed while messing his mane with her hoof. "Why are you sleeping in the bushes, Stu?" Stuart looked confused for a moment. "Oh, yeah, I love sleeping in the bushes. I really like the twigs." Stuart laughed nervously. Pinkie laughed and smiled. "Good one." "Phew," he thought. "That's a start, Stuart." "Oh!" Pinkie hopped into the air and seemed to fly to a nearby ice cream stand. "I'll take a tub of ice cream." The ice cream pony more than happily took her bits in trade for the container of frozen cream. He even tossed in a bag of cherries for free. Stuart got an idea. "Pinkie, want to see some magic?" "Are you loco in the cocoa? Earth ponies can't do magic, duh." "Watch me. I need that ice cream and the cherries." He took the bag in his mouth and Pinkie set the ice cream on the ground by his hooves. "Ice cream magic? That sounds really fun!" exclaimed Pinkie, a mile-wide smile painting her face. Stuart picked up a cherry and placed it under the lid of the ice cream, then gently standing on it with one hoof. "Now, watch closely." Stuart looked up to the sky, readjusted his mouth, and looked back down at Pinkie. But to his surprise, she was a lot closer than he realized. Pinkie had pulled her head back a bit and looked up at Stuart, who was still standing on the ice cream. "Ta-da!" he said, around the cherry clenched in his teeth. Pinkie tried to hide a giggle, but Stuart saw something in her eyes. That something made him look away and eat the cherry, trying to play it off. Pinkie happily hopped to his side again. "How in equestria did you get the cherry out of the tub?" She was shaking the tub ferociously, trying to remove the lid. "I had 2 cherries. He had one in my mouth and the other is still in there. But, I think I closed it a bit too well. Let me try." He awkwardly held the container in his hooves and bit at the edges of the lid. Stuart looked rather odd chewing a plastic container. Pinkie broke into laughter and rolled on the ground next to him. Finally, Stuart just gave up and sat. Pinkie gathered herself and wiped her tears from her big blue eyes. "You're great, Stu," she chimed. After several hours of talking, laughing, and even pranking a few of the local ponies, Pinkie and Stuart ended up walking on the trail used for the running of the leaves every year. Pinkie hopping along as usual with Stuart close behind, confidently centering down the dirt path. "Stu, where do you live at?" Pinkie asked in an oddly calm tone. "I can tell you don't really live around here." It's really hard to explain, Pinkie. I live, well, I think it's a long way away." "So you sleep in the bushes far away from your house?" she asked jokingly, but the unusual calmness of her voice reassured them that she was serious. "I live here, Pinkie. I'm looking for a place near here to live," he said with a smile and a nod. Pinkie Pie just looked at him. Her face slowly turning the biggest smile in all of equestrian history. "You can stay with the Cakes and I. I'm sure we have an extra room you could stay in for a few days." "Gosh, Pinkie, just let your good pal Pinkie Pie handle this, silly pony," she said as she placed a hoof to her head in a salute. The pink pony wrapped her leg around his and pulled him along playfully. Hi-ho, off to Pinkie's house we go. And that was terrible. Stuart was happy. Pinkie burst through the door with a smile that can only be described as unnatural. Stuart entered the building without such a scene and followed Pinkie up the stairs to the bedrooms. Pinkie stopped and gasped loudly, looking at a note taped to her door. "Dear Pinkamena, Mrs. Cake, the fowls, and I have been booked to cater on an event for the princess. We will be staying in Canterlot for the remainder of the week. Keep watch on the store and don't burn the place down, please. Mr. Cake." "Stuart, do you know what this means?" No. "We can make a couch for it. I'll get the blankets and pillows. Go find the room with the fireplace." "Alrighty then." Stuart laughed and shook his head. "Cool. When I shake my head, my mane shakes too." Stu wandered off to find the living room. He passed a few doors that had notes addressed to Pinkie, most of them telling her not to enter. He could see why, though. She did tend to, well, enter a room. Actually, more like kick the door in and fly inside. Stuart found a large open room with a couch and chair, and a large fireplace. Shortly after finding the room, Pinkie Pie leapt from behind the couch and tackled Stuart in a mess of blankets and legs and cotton candy mane. "Got you, silly colt," Pinkie giggled. I was admiring the... Stuart was interrupted when Pinkie poked his nose with her hoof and said, "Boop! I got you again!" She wiggled her way out of the mess of blankets and stood on her hind legs. "Pinkie is master stuff!" Stuart blinked and she was gone. She's kind of cute when she does that. Stu laughed inside his head and started to build a fort out of the blankets. "You'll never get me in here, Pinkie!" He set up some couch cushions and pillows as walls, and a blanket over the top. "Oh, Pinkie! Come out, come out!" Pinkie watched Stu build the fort, set up the blankets, and try to hide inside his castle, all from right behind him. She ducked low and crept up behind him. A board creaked. Pinkie's ears perked up just as Stuart turned around fast. The ponies were statues. Neither moved or dared to breathe. Pictures can say 1,000 words, but so can Pinkie. Yet, Stuart couldn't help but wonder how he managed to leave the Pinkie pony speechless. "It's now or never, Stu. Go for it." Stuart slowly leaned in, closed his eyes, and kissed the filly. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh! Stuart's mind raced. The day's events were all quite strange, but felt right. Feeling Pinkie kiss him back, and pull him into the warm embrace, was almost too much for him to comprehend. That didn't matter now, though. Stuart had rendered her silent, and with a kiss, said more than she had all day. Stuart opened his eyes slowly. Confused, he looked around the room. He knew this room. The bed underneath him felt familiar. It was his own. He looked around the room and sighed heavily. No Pinkie, no Equestria, just home. "This, Pinkie, is where I live," he said softly, a single tear falling down his cheek. Stuart slowly rose and sulked his way to the computer. He sat down and spun to face the picture, and to his surprise, it wasn't the same picture, but the picture was of a blue pony with a brown shaggy mane, nose to nose with a pink cotton candy mane pony. Stuart smiled, and once again clicked the Chrome icon as he did 1,000 times before. On today's schedule was ponies. There was a new episode out today, Pinkie Stew. This episode was supposed to be Pinkie teaching the Cutie Mark Crusaders to cook, and at the timer on the live stream channel counted down, Stuart's smile grew. The episode started out in Zikora's hut, not with Twilight. As we enter the hut, we see the Cutie Mark Crusaders stirring a large pot. Zikora and Pinkie Pie walk to the large pot and toss in some carrots and daisies. "Time for us too to taste this large stew," Zikora rhymed. "I love stew," Pinkie chimed. Then, without missing a beat, looked back to the fourth wall and gave a wink. Anyway, so hopefully you enjoyed that. Not what I usually read, but I'll try to get back to my usual routine as soon as possible. If that can even be considered a routine. In any case, so yeah, a little bit more information on this is that the reason I'm reading this is because there's actually a contest going on. Hope I win it, because then I get, basically I just get a commission, but still, whatever, I don't have to pay for it. In any case, once again, I hope you enjoy it, and have a great night, day, whatever.